Oh, another make it make sense. But let's break all of this down and tell you exactly what all of this is about, people. First off, Stephen A. questioned LeBron as a father. Yeah, he did. Remember? Stephen A. saying, I was talking about your ass. It was your ass that I was talking about. Remember that? That's what Stephen A. said. And what was he talking about? He questioned LeBron as a father. Why would he be putting his son in a situation that he's not ready for? That's what he's saying to LeBron. You put him in the NBA and he's not ready to be in the NBA, so that's a detriment. You're being a bad father by doing that. Because if he doesn't mean that he's being a bad father by doing that, then what the hell is he talking about? Exactly. He's talking about LeBron being a bad father, and Stephen A. Smith is not qualified to talk about whether LeBron is a bad father or not. He doesn't live behind his walls. LeBron could be the worst father in the world. He doesn't know that. He could be the best father in the world. He doesn't know that either. So don't be questioning somebody's motives as a father. I don't care if he's the most famous person on the planet. That is not for you to talk about. You crossed the line. And all Stephen A. Smith had to say was, hey, man, I know you took it that I was questioning you as a father. That is not what I meant. I didn't mean it like that. So if you took it like that, that's not what I was trying to say. That's not him bowing down to LeBron. That's not him kissing the ring. That's not even him apologizing. That's him just explaining, hey, man, I wasn't trying to badmouth you as a father. The problem with all that is Stephen A. was trying to badmouth him as a father. And for the people out there that can say, oh, BB, this dude's full of shit. No, I'm not. Because everything that has happened after that, Stephen A. Smith has told you, I don't like LeBron. Every podcast he's been on First Take, every time he has mentioned LeBron's name since then, it has always been about, I don't like his ass. Isn't that what he says? I don't like his ass and he don't like me. So, I mean, there you have it. And that's what it is. Now, don't get me wrong. Is LeBron super sensitive? Absolutely super sensitive. All these guys are super sensitive these days. And they probably have always been. There's just more access to the stars today than there has been because of social media. So all the guys are probably super sensitive. And by the way, aren't we all? Who the hell wants people bad mouthing them all the time? Nobody likes that, man. Did LeBron set up the confrontation with Stephen A. in the crypto arena? Did he do that? Of course he did. Look, that's what LeBron does. LeBron loves the limelight. He's a calculated dude. He loves being in the spotlight, which I don't know what's wrong with loving being in the spotlight. If you're in it, if you're in it, you might as well love it. Well, he does. And did he set it up? Of course he did. Again, I just told you, these guys are sensitive. And does LeBron not like Stephen A? No. And Stephen A is right on this. LeBron doesn't like him because he doesn't believe that he's the best basketball player ever. And he always says so. LeBron is sensitive to that and he doesn't like him for that. Stephen A's right. He doesn't like him because of that. But what Stephen A failed to mention is, yeah, I don't like LeBron. And he keeps making these innuendos on why, I know this, I know that. Well, if you did and a guy you don't like, then why don't you just tell us? But he's never going to do that because what it really comes down to is Stephen A doesn't like LeBron because LeBron has never spoken to him. LeBron has never given him access. He's never given him an interview. He's never done any of those things. So he doesn't like him. So he's formed this opinion that he doesn't like somebody who he's never had a conversation with. That's like a third grader. I don't like him because Sally doesn't like him. Huh? Like, you don't know the man. How do you not like somebody you don't know? What are you in the third grade? But to end all of this, I'm not saying that Stephen A. Smith even has to like LeBron James. That's not the point here. He doesn't have to like the man. But when you question a man's motives as a father, expect that father to say something back to you. The problem is Stephen A. didn't like the forum that LeBron stepped to him. For instance, he said he could call him. If he had a problem, call me. I'll show up. I'll be on the first flight. If Rich Paul called me. Well, the last time I checked, you called LeBron James out on national television. You questioned his motives as a father on national TV. You did that. So LeBron set it up, and he did set it up to challenge you in front of the world. And what did Stephen A do? He crumbled. Now he came up again with the word salad of, well, he caught me off guard. I didn't know what he was talking. What do you mean you didn't know what he was talking about, man? Stop the lies. It's okay to have some humility and just say, hey, man, I wasn't ready. He caught me off guard. He got the best of me, but I'll come back at him. Or you could even have even more humility and just say, hey, man, he came up to me. He said what he said. That's the end of it. It's okay. But Stephen A., the ego is a son of a bitch, man. So then he goes on this tour, and I love how LeBron said it was a Taylor Swift tour. He goes on everybody that he could think of and calling them weak, calling them names, calling them all this stuff, saying he knows stuff about him, saying he didn't show up. You bring Kobe Bryant into it, the death of Kobe Bryant. You bring that into a conversation that doesn't have anything to do with him, not to mention you lied about it. Then you bring up Dwayne Wade, who again has nothing to do with any of this. You don't know what's going on. And then you acted like, oh, well, Dwayne Wade, he's the reason that you have a championship. Like LeBron had nothing to do with it. I'm like, bro, the passive aggressive, just humble yourself. It's okay. But he can't do that. I got $100 million from ESPN. I cannot humble myself. I have to get the last word. Okay, fine. You can have the last word, but you don't look good in this instance, Stephen A. Don't get me wrong. I rock with Stephen A. I absolutely do. I love his show. I love his podcast. I love everything about him. I am a Stephen A. Smith fan, super fan. But he's also wrong. And it's okay to be wrong. And he was wrong. I'm saying he's wrong. And deep down, I think Stephen A. knows that he's wrong. That's why all these basketball players, you can say, well, they're mad at him because he talks. No, they're just coming to the defense because, look, if you want to criticize me playing basketball, you can do that. Fine. But now you're criticizing me as a father. You have absolutely no right to do that. And that's what he did. He got called out for it. And now he's doing everything under the sun to backpedal when all he had to do was say, hey, man, that's not what I meant when I said that. If you took it like that, that's not what I meant. Could have ended a long time ago. Instead, he chose to milk it for all it's worth, which, again, he should do because that's his job. Make that money. I'm not mad at you. But it is what it is, and you're wrong, and you know it. So like I always say, somebody, anybody, make it make sense.